Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming at you again with another quick post-fight vid. Well, this is very surprising. John Molina Jr. scores a unanimous decision over Ruslan Provodnikov. Now, one thing surprised me about this fight is that John Molina Jr. actually boxed for the first time I've ever seen him box in his career. And what I mean by that is that this guy was making Provodnikov look like a very, very one-dimensional fighter, which he always has been to a degree, but he made him look just as so one-dimensional as did Matisse did to him a couple fights back. So Molina actually used his jab a lot more frequently than I've ever seen him. He started to use his head. He started to use his head movement a little bit more. He started to throw a lot of combinations here and there. And then when he was able to, whenever he was getting pinned in the corner by Provodnikov, he was able to smother him, push him back, and he fight him in the inside and then negate neutralize some of Provodnikov's offense in the inside. So he was able to neutralize him and frustrate him the entire night, especially with the jab, because this is one thing that really frustrates me about Provodnikov. I know you're a hard-hitting, explosive fighter or whatnot, but the one thing about Provodnikov is his Achilles heels is that head movement. This guy shows no head movement at all. He sits there like a stationary target and takes punches. And I'm sure that's his nature because he likes to absorb shots long enough to where his opponents to get worn out for them trying to knock him out. So once he be able to absorb that punishment, he'll be able to absorb their energy as well, and then he'll use that against them and then gets them out of there. So unfortunately, that didn't work with Molina. Yeah, he was able to get Molina with some hard, clean shots in the fight as well. And the one thing worrying me about Molina is that, yeah, he'll be able to take punches, but not to the degree where he'll be able to absorb as much punishment as he was typical of absorbing to the effect where he'll eventually get knocked out. Obviously, we've seen that display against Humberto Soto, I believe. And then and he got obviously Matisse fight where well, by the way, both these men fought Matisse and they both lost to Matisse. The only difference is Molina actually fought Matisse to an action-packed fight of the year, and he got stopped. I think it was the 11th round, but I think he got more stopped in that fight due to fatigue. So again, I think that's another thing I wanted to mention too. He was able to utilize his energy more wisely than he normally does instead of punching himself out. So he actually displayed, again, he acted like an actual boxer there tonight instead of being an all-out slugger. And that's one of the things that surprised Provodnikov, because Provodnikov expected an all-route, a guy to stand in front of him, and which Molina did on many occasions, stand in front of him, absorb shots just like Provodnikov would do, and see who would be able to absorb the punches more. And he didn't expect Molina to be technical tonight the way he was. So, and all I gotta say is, where did now that Molina got the victory, his career has pretty much been restored. So he'll be getting bigger fights again. So he'll make a play in the 140 division. But speaking of that, I'm not sure if he'll make 140 any longer because he looked like a goddamn middleweight in there, borderline middleweight. I think he came in over 160, 162, or 160 tonight. And Provodnikov came in well around 160 as well. So both of these guys came in as middleweights. I mean, Jesus, I'm not sure how long they can even sustain that 140-pound limit for that long. But speaking of sustainability, Provodnikov is really he's becoming worrisome to the degree, and let me tell you why. Yes, he has a granite chin. He's never been knocked out. He's never been knocked down. But this guy has been taking punishment left and right in all his fights, and all the fights and the losses that he's had. I mean, how much longer can he sustain this punishment? Yes, he may not see any punch effects or punch stroke effects right now, but later down the line, as time lingers, he will start to feel those effects. And this is what's I'm worried about because he was absorbing a lot of punishment in tonight's fight against Molina as well. I know he's absorbed a cut, but that was due to clash of accidental heads or whatnot. But Still, though, he was eating punches and power shots and bombs left and right all night long from Molina. So again, this is like, I just don't know how long he can sustain this type of punishment. I mean, I don't know if his career could further prolong. I mean, to me, this is almost the same effect as Riddick Bowe, because Riddick Bowe was in a situation like that before. That's why his career got cut short. Because I mean, not that short, but it did kind of get it got cut short to the extent that he could have, he could have still been a contender in the '90s along with the other big heavyweights. But needless to say, I'm not saying Ruslan Provodnikov is Riddick Bowe. What I'm saying is, yes, we like to see you give us good fights, but at the same time, you got to be more tactful when you fighting your opponents. And the fact that he's sitting there taking punishment like that is very, very unwise. But anyhow, let me know what you think. Who do you think John Molina Jr. should fight next? Does he make a play at 140 now, or Ruslan Provodnikov still has a shot? Let me know what you think. Peace.